Hi, I'm Sophia Scherr, and this is my video response for the martial artists and Acrobats of Tianjin live performance. When I got to the Laxton Auditorium, I didn't really know what I was going to expect. I've never been to a performance like this, never been to a school performance either, so it was kind of a new experience. I've never also been to a Chinese theater or play at all, so this was very new to me. This performance was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I've been to a Cirque du Soleil play performance before with my family in San Francisco, but that was a lot different because that was many cultures and many different themes put together, but this one was Chinese theater altogether. When I got there and the show started, there was a lot of different themes and acts that were going on, and I really enjoyed it. It was really cool to me. I've never seen anything like that, especially Chinese theater. The crowd was really into it, and everybody would look at each other and gasp whenever somebody would do a specific move or act, and it was really amazing. Everybody in the theater was kind of really close at this point. We had a certain connection when we were watching the play. Everybody would look at each other and kind of converse, even though we weren't talking, we were just looking at each other. And the audience seemed to blend together and bond over the amazing performance that we saw. The music really made the performance because it was aligned with the movements, and I think without the music it would have been very different. I think that live performance would have been interesting, live music, but I think the soundtrack really made it, and it was really loud and really intense with the movements. For Prompt 2, I read through Week 4's reading and videos, and I saw a lot of similar themes addressed in the reading, like the Chinese theater reading about choreography using bamboo sticks. This was a scene they kind of did in the performance. It was a lot like what they described in the reading. They also talked about costumes, and they had a lot of elaborate costumes and props that they used that were classic traditions of Chinese theater. There was no dialogue in the show, but there is in a lot of Chinese opera, which is singing. This was just a performance of martial arts and acrobatics. The show reminded me of The Monkey King in this week's reading. That was a video that I watched, and in the video was some kind of acrobat routines in the video that were throwing a sword between each other. And it kind of mirrored the use of the swords and poles that they used in the play. It also mirrored the women who were throwing the diablos back and forth. They used the same kind of technique to throw things back and forth. In the background of the video, the music sounded live, but the music in the actual play that we saw was very loud, but it was also a CD or a soundtrack recording. For Prompt 3, I noticed that I have not seen many performances like this, especially live. I've seen not as much live theater as I've wanted to. Seeing a performance live is very different than seeing through a screen. I think that definitely has a certain element to it and a different feeling. I noticed that live theater, there's small mistakes that were made, especially in this one. There's things that drop or like moves, but they would get right back on it, and they would get right back to being in the play like it never happened. I understand that there's a lot of preparation and work that goes into these performances, and I definitely noticed that when I was there. I wonder if the show would be different if it was shown in China or in different countries and how they would perceive it. I was wondering if they would use live music or stick to the original digitized music for this modern age. And it was definitely a special kind of theater because it wasn't seen in many places, and a lot of people there probably haven't seen theater like this live before either. I understand that the Chinese culture is a lot different, and I saw a glimpse of the traditions and the history behind it just in that performance and the different styles and scenes they used. I went into the performance with an open mind and was absolutely amazed by the people and the actors who put on this performance and how they were just in character and in their costumes and just went out there and gave it their all.